doesn't freeze like it did Kuba. Like it just froze. It just froze the picture halfway through. It didn't capture the audio. Didn't capture anything.
Yikes.
Which I hadn't seen before. All right, where are we? We've been off for 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
Because we had last weekend off, and then
played that Thursday game against the Blades, and then 2 weekends.
2 weekends off, and then we've got four regular season games left, right?
5.
Oh,
Two
that's
Blades,
right.
3, and then that 3-game series against Atlanta.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Breakaway. We are back here on this Thursday before our Friday game against the Blades. We've had nearly 2 weeks off here since playing the Blades about 2 Thursdays ago. There's a couple nice wins by both teams last week, and they get ready to take on the Blades in a 2-set this weekend on Friday, and then a back-to-back on Saturday. Well, we've got assistant coach Rhet Vossler. Rhet, how are we doing today?
Doing well. Happy to be back at it, and excited to finally get back to pre-game day.
All right, and we've only got about 5 regular season games left, the 2 against the Blades and then 3 more against Atlanta, and that's it for the regular season. Where do you think this team is as compared to other teams that have come through this building?
Premier-wise, I'd put this team at the top. My first year, maybe we had a little bit more skill, but this team works so incredibly hard every day that they put themselves in a position that you're not going to outwork them.
And now you've worked with the goalies this year, which is kind of a new responsibility for you. Talk to us about them. I mean, we're on 11 straight games now of 2 goals or less.
Well, thanks for jinxing that, but no, they've been awesome, really receptive to kind of feedback, criticism, and the biggest goal is not to change them, is just to kind of tweak and refine some things, and they've been great, and they work hard, and couldn't ask more.
So now let's talk a bit about you for a sec. You grew up in the Houston-Fort Worth area, right? So how did you kind of get into hockey in a place that's not really known for producing hockey players?
Yeah, I had a neighbor across the street that was 1 day older than me, so naturally kind of got really competitive with him, and anything he started to do I wanted to do so I could beat him in it. And then one day he started street hockey at the YMCA, and I was like, yep, that's the next one for us. And then that was it. First game, I was like, this is everything. This is hockey. I love it.
So now, how did you transition to kind of ice? Did you go through the normal process like learning to skate, or?
No, actually. Funny enough, the first time I ever went skating was at a public skate. I took one step, fell on the ice, and my mom came around and ran over my finger.
Oh.
So that was my intro to ice. But no, I played street hockey for 2 years and then made the jump into ice. And then everybody was kind of rotating around positions, and it was my turn for goalie, and I was like, this is even better than playing hockey. This is goalie in hockey. So I had always been kind of fascinated by the gear and stuff, so it was a good opportunity to get some of that.
So now you went pro damn near out of high school. So what was that kind of like? You're an 18-year-old, you go over to Sweden. What were kind of some of the challenges that it presented you, being so young and then, having almost your world turned upside down by playing pro?
It was obviously great for my development, and obviously hockey in Houston's not that great. So it was kind of time to branch out and find new things. Oddly, I didn't know what junior was, right? So in Houston, there was really no education on that kind of stuff, and I got invited out to a tournament in the summer in Sweden, and one thing led to another, and they offered me a contract, and I was like, well, why not, right? Family ancestry is Swedish, so it just kind of all made sense. But struggle-wise, I moved in my senior year, so trying to finish senior year of high school and balance complete and total freedom for the first time, being away, from home and not really having any, routine and structure was challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that first taste of freedom is always so much fun, but then you realize that, you've got all these different responsibilities, especially as a professional athlete. So you come back and then you play in Amarillo. what was kind of being back in the States like, and then trying to move back up to get, back to that professional level?
It was a lot more demanding, actually. Especially, I guess, within that organization, the expectations were so high from ownership all the way down to even, your assistant equipment manager, which is something we had there, which
You
most
don't
teams
see a
don't.
lot. Yeah.
Right. So everything was extremely, extremely professional and strenuous, and I came into it maybe thinking I was taking a step down, and was young and immature and treated it that way, and it was kind of a kick in the pants. But at the same time, I knew that I had already blown my eligibility for college, so I didn't know what I was really doing, why I was there. I didn't use it to the best that I could have, but in the long run, it all kind of paid off.
Now, were you playing goalie for them, or were you playing out?
Goalie.
You're playing.
Yep.
So you
I've
played.
been goalie exclusively since 8.
Oh, okay. See, because I know you handle the forward lines, because I just always assumed that you were a forward.
No,
so.
no. It's actually kind of cool transitioning from being a from a goalie to a coach, which is very popular now. But I think it's helpful because we see the ice from a different perspective than everybody else. We kind of see the big picture instead of being kind of blinded by being in the rush in stress. So just seeing different things and knowing, what leads to goals from a different perspective, I think helps.
Yeah, you would think so, right? So then, kind of my follow-up question for that, when was kind of the point that you decided that you wanted to get into coaching, after your playing career?
Actually, when I was playing in Iceland, part of the contract agreement was that I would coach all the goalies, all the youth goalies in the organization, and then coach the U16 team as well. So I kind of eased into it that way. So it was a good experience. And then I was like, yeah, this is, after my playing days, this is what I want to do.
So then, what kind of brought you here to Tampa Bay with Brett and Rhet?
Chance. Just happened to move to the Tampa area kind of on a whim when my playing career was over with, and reached out to Brett, and it just seemed like the right fit, and everything kind of fell into place.
And so you've been here for 5 years?
5th season here.
So kind of what's been the biggest challenge, just, handling juniors, kids? I mean, we see how good athletes they are, but they are still kids. What's kind of the biggest challenge that you've seen, trying to mold these young boys into young men?
I think it's setting realistic expectations and kind of remembering where I was at maturity-wise and things like that at that time, and realizing, obviously development is first. Wins are secondary and a byproduct of good development. So just kind of remembering that there is a process and that the results aren't overnight.
And so now we'll kind of move back to these two teams we have right here. Like we said earlier, 5 games left in the regular season. What are the expectations moving forward for this team? I mean, is it really shoot for the moon at this point?
Yeah. I don't think we're really setting any expectations as far as wins or losses, but just to continue the trends and the habits that we've created at this point and just keep moving in the right direction. And that way, when playoffs come, we're already in playoff mode. Right? We have been since the beginning of January. And I think that's kind of shown why we've been successful thus far. The boys have kind of taken it on themselves. Like, they know it's go time.
So, and now we'll take a look at Elite real fast too. They had this really good run, and the start of January, early February, and then they kind of tailed off. They had a really rough weekend against the Eels. They've seemed to rebound. What has kind of been their mindset in trying to push that behind them and really start to focus on the playoffs?
It's to be expected, right? It's a lot of young players that are playing in their first season of junior. It's a grind, right? I'd say probably by Thanksgiving we've already played the amount of games they are used to playing in a full year. They're not used to this training, so it's the dog days, and you kind of get in that where it's like, back to the rink again. But with some time off, you kind of refresh, reset, and they're ready to go.
And what's kind of their biggest step that you think that they need to take to really compete, not only in the playoffs, which I think we all think that they're going to do well in, but then moving forward to nationals?
Penalties. We had to be more disciplined. we've taken a lot of dumb, unnecessary penalties that sometimes cost us a goal against. Maybe we've got a good lead, but still, it's those habits that have to be reinforced.
So we'll kind of end on this one. I'm going to put you on the spot here. What is the best story that you have from playing either overseas or juniors here or coaching too, for that matter?
Best story. Probably not good to tell on here, but we'll go with best experience would be winning a national championship overseas. Just the feeling of kind of all that hard work, not just that season, but throughout a lifetime, kind of coming to the pinnacle is a pretty special moment.
Well, yeah, and then hopefully we'll get the chance to replicate that here.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. Well, Rhet, thank you very much, and it's always good to have you back on, and we'll hopefully get you back on before the end of the regular season.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're going to take a quick break here on the Breakaway. Don't go anywhere. We got our premier players coming right up. And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Breakaway. We got our two premier players here, Filip, Kuba, and Artie Kadnikovs. Guys, how we doing today?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. Artie, we'll start with you. You grew up and did most of your living in Latvia. Tell us what that was like living over there.
So Latvia is pretty much small country. Like, everybody knows everybody. So if you're a hockey player, so mostly like getting known. And yeah, I like Latvia. I still like it, but it's way different to live here in Latvia. Still, I miss my country, but it's really good. I like Latvia a lot.
So how did you kind of get into hockey? Because Latvia obviously there is a fair amount of players that come from there, but it is not like here or Canada where they're constantly producing players.
Yes, you're right. So my dad wanted to be a hockey player, but when he grew up, it was kind of hard to get a hockey player, to become a hockey player. And yeah, he gave me a chance to try myself into this sport. And yeah, like, I liked it, so yeah, and I started to like work out, shooting pucks in the house, and yeah, that's why I decided to be a hockey player.
Now, you're kind of an easy one because your dad is an NHLer, a former NHLer, but kind of expand on that and how you kind of watched him growing up and how you got into it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I started skating in when I lived in Ottawa when he played for the Ottawa Senators. Like I just I started skating. For a year, I was just to learn skates. And after that, when I was like 7 years old, I started playing hockey, and I just like loved it. And Ottawa's it's a Canada, like the hockey country. So it's really easy to get into hockey over there. Just I miss the snow a lot. I wish I could go like live somewhere where there's snow. I'm kind of tired of living in Florida.
Yeah, it's hot all the time. Yeah. So do you remember much from living in Ottawa? What was it like living up there?
A lot of stuff. Yeah, like skating in the canals. That was probably one of my favorite things to do there. Some pod hockey. Also where the Ottawa Senators, like they practice at the Sensplex. That's where I started playing hockey. That's where I started skating. So a lot of good memories over there.
So what's it like kind of having an NHLer as a dad? I mean, I'm sure it's really fun, getting to be around all these big names, but I'm also sure it has its challenges too.
Well, it's hard. A lot of expectations, So, but yeah, other than that, like the positive aspect, like okay, first of all, like NHL player as a dad, that's like the best coach you could possibly get. And I mean, yeah, but sometimes it's like hard, having a NHL player as a dad. But I mean, it's really nice how we could share, like the father-son relationship, while also, like he's also my coach. So that's also good. But also because of that, it's very hard. He's hard on me, but hey, that's expected, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's told you all these wild stories too. From when he played in the league. So, Artie, I know you played some other sports growing up. Talk to us kind of about that and how that kind of has helped you in hockey along the way.
Yeah, you're right. I played soccer, judo, and basketball a little bit, and then came hockey. So I had 3 sports to choose off, and I chose hockey. But all other sports helped me a lot. For example, soccer, it's a lot of running, so I had like some power in my legs. Judo is like hands, so I had like some power in my hands. So I just needed like learn how to skate and shoot the puck. And just, yeah. So.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports growing up, or was it kind of just hockey was the one you were gonna go with?
When I moved down to Florida, I was kind of like 50-50 on like soccer and hockey. Like I started loving soccer a lot. I was watching it, and then when I got to middle school, I started playing lacrosse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love lacrosse. Lacrosse is probably like my second favorite sport besides hockey. So because it's basically hockey, but you're running, right? You got a great little puck, you got to shoot, all that. Tactics wise, it's kind of more like soccer, because it's bigger pitch, more players. But other than that, the physical aspect of it is just hockey, but you're running basically. So yeah, lacrosse.
Kind of the same idea. Yeah, lacrosse. I mean, there's tons of stories of lacrosse. Players playing hockey and hockey players playing lacrosse.
Yeah, they're similar.
Especially with the indoor now. I really like the indoor. It is.
Box lacrosse is fun to watch.
It is literally straight up hockey, but it's lacrosse.
Yeah, that's about as close as you could get to hockey in any other sport.
So now for the both of you, what do you guys kind of do outside of the rink? What do you do to blow off some steam? What do you guys do for fun?
Go, sir.
Yeah, I'll go. So, usually I like to hang out with the boys. So, we live in Trinity, and close to us is Starkey Place. So usually me and Tim we go to Starkey Place, hang out with the boys, watch some football or hockey games, and if not, we stay home. We play video games, just hang out. Sometimes it's some family things. So yeah, I like it.
So pretty close group. Now I gotta ask, what kind of video games do you like to play?
So Tim got PS. I'm Xbox fan, so yeah. But Tim got PS, so usually we play Fortnite, UFC, NHL.
There we go.
I'm beating Tim all the time in the NHL, by the way. So yeah, and when I'm home, I play PC, CS:GO. So yeah.
Yeah, CS is always good. But yeah, so I live in South Tampa, so I guess I hang out with the boys a lot less since everyone's kind of north of the rink. I live 40 minutes south with traffic that's an hour.
Oh, I know. It's not easy to get
and plus,
to South Tampa.
plus I'm in school, so most of the time I'm at home. So video games. I do a lot of sim racing, which is when you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get a wheel, you get a simulator, drive virtual cars on virtual tracks. That's my hobby pretty much. I put a lot of hours into it. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but it's worth the money. It's so much fun. It's just what I love to do.
It is. Oh, it is expensive. I've seen some of the rigs that people have. They've got the whole chair and 3 screens and the whole setup with the gear shifter and all that.
That's what I do. Yep, I'm loving it.
And then your dad is big in the racing too.
Yeah.
So kind of a natural. Obviously, I don't know if he lets you
he has a race car in Czech Republic, so obviously that kind of carried down to me. His love for motorsport pretty much got passed on to me, and it's what I want to do, besides hockey as well.
So that's awesome. So hey, kind of move back into hockey. We've got 5 games left in the regular season.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? You guys both defensemen. You guys have 11 straight games with 2 goals or less. What have you guys seen from your group in the beginning of the season, and now what it's turned into near the end?
Well, I think it's just the connection between all of us. We're already thinking in each other's minds. So it's we know where to find our teammates. We know how to communicate well, how to move the puck well. The biggest difference is probably how we move the puck. At the beginning of the season, we're just kind of a little choppy, it's a couple mistakes. But now, it's almost perfect. If we're on our game, all of our passes are on the tape, and we're making opportunities to score, and that's why we get so many goals. And on defense, it's just we get right on them, so the other team doesn't get much chances to score on us.
Yeah, I agree with Filip. So we got chemistry on. So our goalie's playing great, forwards scoring goals.
Yeah,
and yeah, we got the lines. So we keep practicing on the ice with the same lines, so everybody understands everyone. And that's why I think we are dominating now.
So now for you, Artjom, I know you played in Latvia. Is there kind of a difference in style between how the game is played over there as opposed to what it's like over here?
Oh yeah, for sure. So in Europe, rink is way bigger than American ices. And for me, it was kind of hard to get used to play on the small rinks because it's less time to think, less time to take a shot. So, but it's now it's more battlings. No, a lot of skating and no time. So you need to think faster and make decisions faster.
So as I said, we only got 5 regular season games left before the playoffs. You're likely going to see the Blades in the playoffs, which is the team you've got this Friday and Saturday for that matter. What are you kind of looking for going into this game, but not only just this game, but moving forward into the playoffs?
All right. Well, mainly we just want to kind of reduce the opportunities that the Blades have to score because, we can get the goals in. We just need to, prevent them from scoring. We have a great offense. We have good goalies. We just got to kind of be sharp on defense. And, it's a good way to practice for the playoffs because we're going to take this, as a playoff situation. So we're going to give it our all and make sure that we win both games.
Yeah, I think we just need to play our games because if we play our hockey, we can beat everyone. We show in the showcase, we beat good teams. So if we play our game, we'll be good.
So now, going into the playoffs? What are your expectations here? How are you guys looking to kind of put the dagger in per se and make sure that you book your ticket to nationals?
Well, first of all, we're going to try to cut it down to 2 games. Just sweep them. That's our goal here. That's our goal. How are we going to do that? That's by playing our game. That's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I agree with Filip. We just need to play our game and just run them into games.
And so, always like to end on a bit of a funny one. Tell us who you would not want to sit. Oh, well, no, take it back. I'm going to ask this one. Give me your best road trip story that you've had, and it could be with TBJ, it could be overseas, it could be youth hockey. Give us your best road trip story.
You can start. I need quite some time to think about this one.
I would say outside the States, it's fine. So when I played for national team Latvians in the World Championship U18s in Dallas, so it was our first game against Switzerland, and we missed the bus. So whole team missed the bus, and coach became so mad. So he made us making push-ups in front of the rink. So it was all the cameras, all the scouts, other teams. And Latvians just pushing up. And yeah, we did 50 push-ups. Wow. And we got so tired, and that's why we lost the game, basically.
Yeah, that's why you lost.
For me, it was kind of funny because everybody was filming us, scouts, other teams looking at us, and we're just pushing.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but not at that time.
So wait, why did you miss the bus though?
I don't know how it happened. So all team missed the bus.
The whole team.
Yeah, all team missed the bus because guys thought it's 15 minutes earlier or bus leaves earlier, and everybody missed the bus, and coach became mad and yeah.
It wasn't like a knockout game, was it?
It was first group game.
That was the first group game? Okay, well, at least it happened in the first group game, and
Yeah.
the quarterfinals.
But still, we needed that win because it was against Switzerland, and we lost. So other teams were very stronger than Switzerland.
What about you? Best road trip story, Kuba?
All right, yeah. So I can't think of ones that are memorable in a good way because the ones that are memorable in a good way, they've been kind of calm, kind of tame. So I'm gonna make things interesting here. I'm gonna throw a little shade over here. So shout out to JetBlue for making our Boston showcase travel experience absolutely terrible. Stuck at the airport for about 7 hours. I got there around noon. We left at 1 o'clock in the morning. So they pretty much just put us onto a plane. Something was wrong with the computer, so we just chilled at the gate for an hour. No, it was more than that, an hour and a half. Then they took us out, and then oh no. So what happened was that we were about to take off. They're like, all right, fix our problem here, and then also they're like, all right, the pilots need to be switched because they timed out. They spent too much time in the cockpit. So they took us out, put us on another plane, and then then we needed new tickets. The airport could only give us certain amount of tickets, so I got lucky. I got put on the next plane with only 4 other teammates, 4 of us, along with Rhet, just on our plane to Boston. We got there 4 o'clock in the morning in our hotel.
Oh, God,
We
yeah.
had to haul everyone's luggage off the conveyor belt into the bus, and from the bus back into the hotel. So a lot of work on our end. Plus it was late in the morning, 4 o'clock ish. So
and then
we were all really tired.
And then you had a game the next day too. I remember getting back to my hotel room because I was calling games for that showcase too, and I get a call from Rhet, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to come down to the airport." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what happened?" He goes, "Yeah, there's about 10 guys on the plane, and there's 50 hockey bags and 50 suitcases." I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh,
we need a
gracious."
lot of help, but that took forever. Yeah. Terrible.
And I remember kind of following it too. I was like, oh, they're going to get in here. Like, I'll meet them at the hotel or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, they're not here yet. I'm like, well, why not? They're like, I don't know, something wrong with the plane. And then like 3 hours later, I'm like, you guys on your way yet? And they're like, no, we're still at the airport. And I also heard too that like Nelly slept in the bathtub because there was like 10 guys to a room because you couldn't get her. Some guys went home. Goodness gracious, this is a disaster.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad for the guys that didn't get on the next plane. They had to like stay in one hotel room, fit the entire team in one hotel room. Like the entire time, like when I was on the plane, I was like trying to stay optimistic. I was like, okay, maybe like in about an hour or so, we get on a plane, just leave the airport. But nope, didn't happen. Just absolutely terrible. Thank you, JetBlue. Thank you.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I mean, and then you were on that next flight too, right? Because you didn't get on the one.
We flew next morning.
How many guys were in your hotel room?
The entire team.
Yeah, you're right. Whole team.
But that must have been, a bright spot to come out of. I mean, team bonding, right? You're all close in one room. I mean, kind of a crappy experience, but still at the same time, that's been kind of funny and a good time. So, yeah, well, hey, thank you guys for coming on. We got some big games. Make sure you come out to watch them. Friday at 8:15, Premier will go with Elite going at 5:30. Thanks again, guys. We'll hope to have you on soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, make sure you stick around. We got our Elite players coming up next. We'll be right back after these messages. You're watching The Breakaway.
Don't just be epic. Don't just travel, explore. Live for the journey, where challenges become new adventures, new terrain to tackle, new opportunities to push yourself and live bolder. A champion doesn't do ordinary. A champion is a warrior. A champion fights for that last goal, that last spike, that last mile. That's the stuff heroes are made of. The grit of an adventurer, the passion of a dreamer, the drive of an explorer. Train like a hero. Travel like a champion.
Let's play.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Breakaway. We got our two Elite players, Charles Garon and Josh Bain. Guys, how are we doing today?
Good.
Pretty good. Just got done with practice. How'd it go?
Good. It was a good one. I mean, we're getting ready for this weekend. 2 big games. So.
Yep. It was good to just fine-tune all our positioning and get ready for tomorrow.
So now I know your dad played a little bit of professional hockey. Talk to us about how you kind of got into the sport.
So at a young age, I was already in skates at like the age of 3, just watching hockey with my dad growing up. But I think I started playing it when I turned like 5 or 6, and it just went from there. Like I just developed like a love for the game that it stayed with me until now.
So now, not hard to figure out how you got into the game of hockey. Your dad, a former NHL goaltender.
Yeah.
But, give us a little insight about, kind of what that's like. And, was it hockey from the start?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely hockey from the start. I remember, I would always play, mini sticks with my dad. That's how I got into it. And then as soon as I could skate, I've been skating. I started as a player and then switched to goalie. Yeah.
A lot of players take that route. Yeah. So, what's it like kind of having an NHLer as a dad? I mean, I know he moves around a lot, but
it's easy to to learn from him every day. So I can see what he's done right and wrong in his career and kind of shape how I play hockey around him that way.
Now, I'm sure he's got a ton of stories that he's told me too.
Yeah, a couple.
So we'll kind of move away from hockey. You said obviously your dad bounced around, so you bounced around with him. What was kind of your favorite place that you've been so far?
Well, I got to say back home in Quebec, that's got to be my favorite because my whole family's there. And, I have no family anywhere else.
So at what point did you kind of move down here and realize that this was going to be a place that you were going to grow up?
It was second grade for me, so 10 years ago now. And then, my whole family's loved it since.
So now what's it like between playing here and, I don't know if you ever got the chance to play in Quebec, but, playing in Quebec. Yeah.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just hockey. So it's a little bit, I don't know. I can't really, there's not much of a difference.
So now, Josh, kind of, I think you were born in Ontario too, correct?
Oh, no, I'm from Florida.
Oh, you're from
Yeah.
Florida? Oh, excuse me for messing up. So, what's it kind of been like growing up here? Hockey has changed a lot over the years here, but it's still not necessarily a place where, hockey players are being produced left and right. So what's it kind of like, growing up here in a place where hockey's not the number one sport per se?
Well, it's a little difficult to get noticed and that kind of thing, but I guess if you play at a high enough level, like there's teams like Alliance or just playing at any high level, you can get yourself noticed and just working hard. Like the game's changed a lot in the past few years, just with how much it's grown with younger kids getting into it. So it's a lot different of a game, and it's definitely getting a lot bigger now with like the addition of some new rinks like Lakeland, and they're redoing a lot of rinks like Clearwater, put in a new sheet of ice, like stuff like that. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
So now we'll kind of move away from hockey for a second. Josh, what do you do outside of the rink? I know you like to keep in shape, but anything else in particular?
Yeah, so other than going to the gym, I play guitar a bit, acoustic, just not like all the time, but it's just something I like to do, like if I'm bored, just mess around the guitar a bit.
So do you have like a favorite song you play? Is there a favorite genre you kind of gear towards, or do you just kind of just like a jam sesh where you kind of mess around and see what you like? Or
I guess kind of just mess around, see what I like, but like if I hear a song that I like on the radio or something like that, I'll just try to figure it out, I guess.
So now you favorite Florida sport, fishing.
Yeah.
Talk to us a bit about that and how you spend some time in the summer.
We're fortunate enough to have a boat, so we spend a lot of. Well, we just got it a couple years ago, but we spend a lot of whenever I'm not playing hockey or like trading with my dad. We spend a lot of time fishing. It's good to just be me and him by ourselves. It's fun.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
I don't know, some type of shark probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the length and everything is, but some shark probably.
It marvels me how much patience fishing takes, which I guess is not surprising because you're a goaltender.
Yeah.
You have to sit back there alone for half the game. But the amount of time you spend waiting with your
I think that's part of it. I mean, it's just that like when you do catch a fish, it's that excitement that's worth it, worth all the wait.
So now we'll kind of move back into hockey a bit. You guys did really well at the Boston Showcase. You kind of followed it up well, but then you kind of had a downtime against the Eels. Talk to us about kind of how you guys have moved past that and are kind of gearing towards the playoffs.
Well, we really buttoned down on like our position, like I said earlier. We really slowed things down and just made sure that the little details were there and were fixed. And I feel like we'll have a good showing tomorrow if we all work together and just put in as much effort as we can and work like a team.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, every season a team's gonna have their ups and downs, and it's just about like focusing on the basic little things you can control, and then eventually it'll start picking back up, and you'll get back to where you were.
So now we've got 5 regular season games left before we head into the playoffs. What are you guys most looking forward to, as the season comes to a close and moving forward towards the postseason?
First,
looking forward to just how the competition changes as we move into playoffs, how the teams are going to change the way they play, and how we're all going to come together and perform in playoffs as well, because it's a completely different game in the postseason.
Yeah, like Josh said, it's I'm excited to see how we respond to the playoff game, rather than like instead of a regular season game. Should be fun.
So now this is both of your first years with the club. What were your expectations kind of coming into the season, and how has everything lived up to that expectation, or even yourselves too? How have you guys kind of handled your first year in juniors?
I mean, for me, I've had friends that have played on the team in the past. I mean, they've all said great things about it. So it was for me, it was like I was just a little scared about how much we were going to play, but it's getting used to it. So I'm getting good now.
Yeah, it was a pretty big change of environment for me. Just walking in the locker room on the first day of the training camp, like no real familiar faces, and being one of the younger guys, it was a little bit like unnerving at first. But everyone on our team, everyone's great guys, and we all warmed up, and I felt really welcome on the team. And it's definitely a lot faster than what I'm used to, but adjusting definitely.
So now we had a big set of games this Friday and Saturday. It's going to be against the Blades, which is most likely going to be the team you're going to see in the playoffs. How are you kind of looking at this game right here, these 2 games, Friday and Saturday?
Just treating it as a playoff game, playoff series. I mean, for playoffs, we just have to win 2, and we have 2 this weekend, so we're going to treat it that way.
Yeah, just like you said, treating it like a playoff game, staying responsible with what we know we need to do, and just accomplish it.
So now I always like to end on a funny question. We got the Premier's guys' take on this, but what is your best memory or best story from a road trip? I mean, it could be youth, it could be here at TBJ, it could be anything throughout your hockey career. Give me your best story that happened on a road trip.
Best story has to be the Boston showcase. I mean, going to the airport right after school at like 3-ish around there, and then we didn't we got on the plane, off the plane, then the flight got canceled, then the other flight, half the team got on, then half the team went to like a hotel, and then woke up at like 5 in the morning, got on a flight, and then played 2 games that day.
So
It's
yeah,
crazy.
because Premier only had 1, but you
Yeah,
guys
we
had
had
2.
2.
I mean, that must have been a challenge just in of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it a ton too, just how crazy and chaotic that was. How many guys were in your hotel room?
For me, I think I had 5 guys in my hotel room.
Okay, that's not bad.
So it was a reasonable amount. I've heard a couple of Premier kids had a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nelson slept in the bathtub, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy story. And I remember, going to the airport to meet you guys, and
Yeah.
there 10 of you were with all 50
That was
suitcases.
brutal.
It was nuts. Josh, what about you?
Boston was definitely wild, but when I was really young, I think 7 or 8, I was playing squirts, and we went up to Orlando for a tournament, and after playing mini hockey in the hallway, got sliced my eye open, and one of the hotel beds turned into a little surgery bed, and I had to get my eyes super glued shut for a bit. It was pretty bad,
Wait, did you have like a team doctor on staff?
My dad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your dad's a doctor. So wait, so you got slashed with a mini hockey stick in the face.
Yeah, we were just playing in the hallways.
And then he super glued your eyes
Yeah,
shut.
he was on the phone with the surgeon from the Lightning, and he's giving him step-by-step instructions. All the parents are standing around the bed with their flashlights of their phone on, like trying to get some light in there.
So did you play the next day?
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's like you playing in with one eye. How'd you see?
Oh, it was fine afterwards, It was mostly the eyebrows, so like the eye wasn't too bad, but I got.
So you were able to use both eyes. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It wasn't not as bad as it sounded, but just a funny story.
Yeah, no, because when you said it, I was thinking like your dad had to like super glue your eyes shut.
Oh
so
no,
you could.
nothing crazy like that. That would have been a little weird.
Hey, well, thanks guys for joining us. Hopefully
you.
we'll get you back on soon.
you.
Make sure you come out to AdventHealth Center Ice this weekend. We got games on Friday night, and then of course be tuned into Hockey TV on Saturday to watch the road games. Regular season is coming to an end, and we're getting ready for the playoffs. So thank you all for watching. This has been another episode of The Breakaway.